thank you so much for joining me today, and today I'm going to be documenting a trip that we made to the Lowry to watch Six at the theatre there this summer. My daughter and her friend's mum. It was a really lovely afternoon. So first of all, I'm starting with the Distress Oxide in Blueprint Sketch, and I'm using one of the Flair Hut's new stencils, this star, replaceable star, and it's a really nice stencil to use for a theatre trip because it obviously stars. And this blue is perfect for the photos that I've got. You can see them on the right hand side there. I'm going to be using Vicki Boutin's Print Shop, and these papers really match nicely with the photos as well. So first of all, I've created a vertical line down the middle of the page, and then I'm going to come in with my Wilted Violet Distress Oxide spray. I didn't want to miss the actual page because I didn't want to get too messy, so I'm just using my water to dampen the page, and then I'm going to come in and just splat this Wilted Violet ink all over those wet areas. Once I've done that, you can see I've got a large piece of packaging on the left hand side, and I'm just going to use that to smooth out these ink splatters. Now I do lose a lot of the definition in the stars, but you can still see them on the finished layout in certain areas, and I really like how this look's been created. If you wanted more definition on the stars, you could always go over at the end with the same chipped sapphire oxide and add some more stars to your background. But like I say, I was very happy with the way this came out. So now I'm happy with that background, just checking that the photos look nice and then moving it to one side to dry. So I shall start with matting the photos now. So first of all, I'm going to go through the 12 by 12 paper pad, and it took me a little while to decide what to use. I really loved this type print, but I wasn't sure if that was right. And I was looking at the golds as well, because I did definitely want to bring some gold into this layout. But once I've gone through all the papers in the pad, I decided that that typed page definitely is the best one. So just finishing looking, realise that I've got to the beginning again, so come back to that typed piece. And I'm just going to stick these photos down, cut round them with my large scissors. I stick them down using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive, of course, and then I shall distress them with my Tim Holtz Edge Distresser. Gosh, I'm struggling to talk today. This layout wasn't the easiest, but I'm so happy with the way it came out. I knew that I wanted to use that chipped sapphire and Wilted Violet inks because I knew those would go really nicely with the photos. But I didn't really have an idea of what else I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to start with a vertical stripe, and I thought I was going to have the photos vertically as well, but they weren't much better together side by side. So that's where I became a little bit stuck. But like I say, I am really pleased with the way the layout turned out, and sometimes you just need to have a play and just go into it even if you don't have an idea. I think I'm so used to working with prompts because I did Scraptember and then I did Christie's Beautiful Life of 30 Days of Sketches for October. I'm used to almost being told what to do, so having this freedom now is really making me think. And you'd think that having scrapped every day for 60 days that I would be more into the groove, but I'm struggling a little bit, but still enjoying the process. So I'm just looking through the 6x8 pad now to find something to map these two photos onto, and I settle on this blue flower, and I'm careful the way I cut this so that I've got some flowers left over that I can fussy cut because I do like the flowers on this paper. So you'll see I cut the first one and then realise that there's quite a nice strip in the middle of the paper. So the second mat I cut fairly close to the end strip, and can you see those three flowers where my thumb, underneath my thumb there? They're the ones that I'm going to cut out. So just moving those to one side, tearing off this end strip. I would normally cut that because I don't really like the frayed edge that I get from the perforations, but because I'm going to be edge distressing, I just use perforations to tear that edge off. When I turn the paper over, I realise that it's quite a nice peachy pink on the other side. So one of the photos I matte with that and the other one I matte with the blue, just to add some difference. And that peachy pink matches the colour of the girl's skin really nicely, so it's just bringing a different colour in. So those are both being glued down now that they've been distressed around the edges with my edge distresser. And then on to the next thing. So just as I mentioned, fussy cutting these 3 flowers. I won't make you watch that. And there they are at the top. So bringing this background back in now, it's almost dry, so I'm just going to daub up what's left on the sheet with some tissue paper, and just checking that I like the way the pictures look, which I do, because obviously I didn't want to daub it up if I was going to have to add some more mixed media to the background. But I am happy, so that's where they go. So now I'm just starting to look through to see what else I can add. I want to add a little bit more pattern paper to the background. I looked through the 6x8 pad but realised I want something a little bit bigger. So I go into my box, which houses all my print shop bits and pieces, including the 12x12 papers that I've already cut into. So I'm just looking through those. I only want a couple of strips, so just looking to see what I've got, to see what I can add. And I find this purple paper, the spotty paper, so I tear a piece off that, and that goes just underneath the photos there. And I just want one more piece. I don't like just a single piece of paper on its own. I want it to have some company. So I find this blue paper, so just cut a strip off that. And those two work really nicely together as the start of my background. I don't want the full 12x12, so I just tear off the edges of this before sticking it all down. So I'm really loving this print shop. I think it's my favourite collection this year. I thought it was 49 and Market Spectrum Share, but this one, it just gives so many possibilities, and the Papier pack is just amazing. You'll see I'll come in with that again today, and I feel like I've barely used it. There's so much in it. I haven't touched the ephemera pieces yet because of that pack. I just love the thinness of the paper and the way it all goes together. It's just glorious. So just having a look through to see what else I've got here, and I go straight for the sticker sheet book. This is another thing that I love in this collection, these stickers. They just keep on giving. So I find a circle, which I love, and that's got the gold that I said I wanted to bring into this layout. So I'm just going to nestle that in the top left hand corner, and then one of these circles in that peachy colour that I've used for matting the photo of the girls. So just laying those down, they're easy enough to pull up if I need to reposition them when I stick the photos down. But realise that I really do need to start sticking things down now. So I start with this strip of paper, which is almost the anchor for the photos. I'm just roughing up the edges with my fingernails. I didn't want to do anything as definitive as using my Tim Holtz edge distresser. Sometimes using your nails just gives a more subtle finish because you're not actually tearing the paper. It's just breaking the bonds of the paper at the edge. So happy with the way that looks. Just curling up the edges of that ripped paper, and then I shall glue this down. There we go. And then checking with my T-ruler, of course, to check that it is straight before I carry on with the rest of it. So now the photos can go down, and I'm just gluing them straight down this time. I don't want too much dimension on this layout. Most of my layouts have an awful lot of dimension, and I'm filling up my albums very quickly, so I'm trying to be a little bit more mindful of that now. So as I mentioned, look, I've just had to reposition that sticker, but it's very easy to pull up from this cardstock. It's the Hey Little Magpie cardstock that I've been using over the last couple of months. It's really smooth, nice heavyweight, so it accepts mixed media very nicely. It's available on the Hey Little Magpie shop. So now looking through the 6x12 sheet of puffy stickers to see if there's a ready-made title for me, and I just find this word smile, which I think will go nicely with the photo of the girls. They're sort of half smiling, so that will do. And I like the blockiness of it, and it's not too big. I didn't want anything too big on this layout. So just popping that down over the top, and then I find a nice gold arrow to point down to the girls. Once that's down, I see one on this sheet, but it's not directed the right way. When I try and put it down, it would go from the girls up to the word, and I didn't want that. So look on the other side, and there we go. always plenty of arrows on Vicki Boutin's products, which is nice. So I like the way that sits, and I'm so pleased that these photos are stuck directly down onto the layout because I didn't have to faff with foam. More often than not I'm mounting my photos on foam, so it was nice not to have to worry about that. So now this flower that I'd fussy cut, I'm just scuffing up the edges again with my nails, and then I'll glue that down on that corner. So looking for more bits to add, and these puffy stickers always have loads of little scattery pieces to add on, so just adding a gold heart and dot there, and then a star and a dot in the top. And you can see that blue star at the top is still visible, and some of the stars towards the bottom are still visible, so I'm fine with that. The stenciling just added a hint of something. So now the chipboard thickers from this set, I'm just spelling the word 6 because obviously that's what we went to see, and just have to move it over a bit because I'd misjudged how big it was going to be. I don't know how big I thought it was going to be with only 3 letters, but there you go. And I will glue this down at the end with my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. The chipboard thickers never stick that well, so you're best gluing it down with a wet glue of some kind. So now the 6x12 sticker sheet, and this always has loads of lovely little bits and pieces to add. So just find that purple sticker that says original, and then this one that I put at the top that says sweet. And that's it from there. So now here's the papyri paper pieces, and this is where I really start to build up the layout. Like I said at the beginning, I wasn't sure where I was going with this. I knew I wanted that vertical strip of mixed media, but then that was it. But now you'll see I build up a really nice cluster underneath that purple paper of all the different papyri bits, and they're a beautiful tissue thin paper that works really nicely. So just going through to see what else I can find. I think I want something on the left hand side of the 2 photos, and I do find something, not in this pack, somewhere else, but for now I'm just going to build up the other bits and pieces. So I like this washi tape coffee ring. I've used these on layouts before, and it echoes that circle in the top left hand corner really nicely. So just having to pull up my photo because of course that's glued down, and I want to nestle this underneath. Always the way. And you can see it looks like a tangled mess, but if you're just confident and go with it, it does all even out and stick down really nicely without creasing at all. And then just pulling that sticker that says original back up so that that's overlapped over the top of that washi tape ring. And now looking to see what else I can find, and I like this ticket. Just grabbing the layout to see what it says because I can't see from there. It just says me time, and it was some lovely me time with the girls that afternoon. It was a Sunday afternoon and we really enjoyed it. So that'll just go down there above that original sticker. And I know I'm not finished here. I want something else to layer underneath that photo, so I keep looking. There's almost too much in this box, but as soon as I find something I just stop now rather than trying to look at everything. And this tag is perfect. So because I'm going to be nestling it halfway down, I cut half of it to save for another layout. And then that just nestles really nicely underneath that photo there. And it kind of finishes off that bottom right hand corner. So just gluing as I go where I can. And now I'm going to work along the bottom of the layout. So seeing what else I can find. I like this tag. I do like tags. And I've noticed that most of the things that I pulled out are actually black. So not very adventurous with my colours today, but I did want that purple to pop. The Queen's in 6. The purple is the predominant colour on stage, so I wanted to make sure I got that in on the background. So just trimming off the edge of this little tag, manila tag. I wasn't happy with the way it being cut in the cutting process. It showed a slight bit of the next tag, so just trim that down. And then I found this little label, and I'm just looking for something to put on that left hand side now just to build things up. that's too big, don't like that. Another label which nestles really nicely, and that fills that space beautifully at the bottom, so it follows the curve of that ripped paper, and I'm really happy with that. And still a nice amount of the mixed media showing at the bottom. So all these get glued down, and then I want to start looking for something for that left hand side. So I'll go into my second box, which has the chipboard pieces, in a minute, and that's where I see some paper tags that I'd cut from, oh no, sorry, first of all I'm going to do the date stamp. So that just goes on the tag at the bottom left hand side, and then I also fill in that circle on the right hand side. Just a couple of stamps each time. And then this is the box that contains the chipboard, the black and white chipboard, and then I discovered these tags that I'd cut from the 6x8 paper pad. First of all, I try this one, and I really like the size of it, but that's definitely not right for this layout. And then I find this one that says little details, and I think that's absolutely perfect for adding my journaling, because I haven't got any journaling on here at this point. I've already done one layout from this day out, which I put a lot of the details on, so I don't need to add too much detail here, but it's quite nice just to say that it was our second time to C6. I also mentioned that it was the third time lucky, because we'd booked and then rebooked with the COVID restrictions, and it had been cancelled twice, so we actually got our money back and then saw it was coming back again, so rebooked for the third time and made it this time. So really happy to have taken Claire and Lucy there as well. So just adding some of this beautiful wax twine that I got from eBay recently, just tying that in a bow in the end on here. I faff and fiddle about a bit. I cut that out of the video because you didn't need to see that. And then add a bow. And I've actually, while I was off camera, stuck down that little details tag with some foam, the 6mm Sticks 2 foam pad that we sell at Hey Little, foam roll that we sell at Hey Little Magpie. You can see the yellow paper. The left hand side from that. So just trimming that bow down and then using a daub of glue just to make sure that the bow stays together. And now for a final flourish, I'm going to come in with this gold watercolour paint. It's just a solid gold watercolour paint that I bought on Amazon, I think, and just adding some splatters to the top and bottom here. And that's this layout done. So I'm still really enjoying this print shop. Has anybody else bought Print Shop? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Please do give this video a like if you're enjoying it, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who already has, and I shall see you very soon for another video. I'm aiming to upload at least 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, but I will do more if I'm able. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye.